Good morning, everybody. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I'm in my kitchen because I have a little story to tell you. Another little true love story. If you are interested, you can stay. If not, and you know that I'm going to make my short story even longer, then you can go away. But I thought I was so very happy the other day. As you know, if you've watched my channel, a few days ago, my husband, our son, and I went to a fair, little county fair, about an hour away, Kutztown Folk Festival. It was a lovely day out. It really was. And I did a little video of how we went around the fair and saw the quilts. Fabulous, wonderful. That's what you guys want to see. And then how we went on it. It ended up 2-hour coach ride, a bus tour, I should say, of the countryside and see barns and barn art. It wasn't supposed to be 2 hours. There was a terrible accident on I-78, and it's up that way, the Allentown area, Pennsylvania, and it was all blocked off. So the traffic was backed up to, I believe, Route 222 something, and it affected the coach ride. So the bus driver really had to go on back roads, really back roads, and it extended our tour. It was just so wonderful. And I think I did 10 minutes. I have so much footage of that. The chap who was narrating, our tour guide, was so knowledgeable. Anyway, that's another story. You saw that. A very enjoyable day, but I have to tell you, again, there's a few parts to this story once I get to the end. I could just get to the end right now. Should I do that? Nah. Grab a cup of coffee. When I was, let me see, when I was 10, my oldest brother, I have 5 older brothers, I'm the youngest. My oldest brother, Kenneth, he is 8 years older than I am, 8.5 years older than I am, and he got married. He got married very young. He's been married now for 54 years, or whatever it is. I was in their wedding, and of course I was a little 10-year-old bridesmaid. Well, he moved away. My brother moved away. What happened is he wanted to do further ministry, so he and his wife had, let me take them off, had chosen Kentucky to go where they were needed, actually. And he packed up his old, I think it was an old Corvair, and as a young couple they went down to Kentucky, and they've been there ever since and have raised their 4 sons there. So Kenneth was not in my life an awfully lot because I was just a little girl and he was gone and married. He comes back every few years to the Pennsylvania area. What happened was I was about 15 years old, so about 5 years later. Kenneth was 24, something like that. He came back with his wife and to visit, and we had a market, like a farmer's market, indoor mart, called the Montgomeryville Mart. Any of you from Pennsylvania, Montgomeryville area, Lansdale, Montgomeryville area, will remember the mart. And it was such a nice tradition. My dad used to take us, the 8 of us, my mom and him and the 6 kids, in our big station wagon, piled in the station wagon, out to the mart. Almost every week, every Saturday, he would give us all a quarter, and we would go. My brother Donald and I would go and blow it on candy and comic books. It was wonderful. Anyway, Kenneth remembered that, and when I was about 15 years old, we had stopped going as frequently as we did. But he took me up to Montgomeryville Mart. We had a ride up to the Mart. It was wonderful, and there was soft pretzels and candy stores and antique stores, and all under one roof, like, you know, like a mart would be, concrete floor. It was built in about 1950, I believe. It closed in 1990, I think it was, and then it burned down to 1991. It was a real wonderful place to go. Anyway, we were walking along, and we had gotten our French fries and our soft pretzels, and for some reason, I've always liked antiques, old things. I liked old things. And I always sort of never followed a trend in decorating. I would buy old stuff. Well, one of the stalls to the right, I remember where it was 52 years ago. I could go there right now and I could see it. I walked in, I was 15 years old. And in front of me, there was a yellowware bowl, an antique back then even, a yellowware bowl. I'll put a picture of a picture of this bowl. Oh, this magnificent bowl. It was a bowl. Because Kenneth said he'd buy me something, whatever I would want. Well, I took one look as a 15-year-old girl, and I'm like, oh, I love this bowl. Anyway, long story longer, Kenneth bought me the bowl. It was so very, very special. So special, in fact, fast forward, my bowl went with me to England when we moved to England. When I married my husband, Ian, I moved to England. My bowl lasted for decades. And then we actually moved to Vancouver with 6 of our 10 children. My bowl came with me to Vancouver. We lived there for 2 years. And then, of course, my bowl came back with me to Pennsylvania here, where we had 4 more children. And I just treasured my bowl. And that bowl, because we had 10 children at that time, that bowl was so very special to me. And because we had a large family, I used that bowl a lot. And I was always be very careful with Mom's bowl, right? So anyway, getting to the other half of this story, my mother, Margie, was tiny little thing. I'd take after my dad. I'm big boned, let's just say. My mom was little, tiny little thing. Always so immaculate. Always so immaculate. She died when she was 83 years old. I'm going to put some pictures up at the end of my dear mom, Margie. She was always so precise, and she loved her clothes and she loved her jewelry. Her good jewelry. Unlike me, I like my tacky jewelry. But my mom was just a lady. She was. And she was full of life and always was laughing. Always was laughing. Had a very good dry sense of humor. Towards the end of her life, though, we had to, about 9 months before she died, we had to put her in an assisted living home. She had been living by herself, but she needed some help. So she was in a beautiful facility, wonderful facility. So she lived there happily. I decorated the little room for her. It was just so lovely. The staff were wonderful. Well, we would bring Mom back to our home, and I guess about 5 months before she had died, she came back for a meal to ours with all of the kids and everything. And I was in the kitchen, of course, and I said, Mom, you sit down. She had Parkinson's disease. She had been diagnosed when she was 78. She died when she was 82 or 83. So she was just a bit shaky, just a little bit shaky. Well, I was doing the dishes. You know what I'm going to say. Mom wanted to be ever so helpful. She raised 6 children. So she picked up my yellow bowl, which on a good day was heavy for me, for a man. And my bowl, here, Jean, ever so helpful. My bowl crashed to the floor. And I'd had that bowl for what, 40 years at that point? In 3 different countries. Well, my mom was so upset that I daren't get upset. It was like, oh, it's okay, Mom, it's just a bowl. It was just a bowl, right? And I cleaned the bowl up, and all of our kids and Ian were looking at me like, oh, and I'm like, be quiet. My mom's feeling. And I'm like, I made light of it. Oh, I took Mom home and I cried. I cried. And to this day, I'm like, Maxwell always goes, oh, watch Mom's bowls. I have a thing. Okay, if there's a rehab for bowl addicts, I would go. Anyway, over the years since, I thought, oh well, never mind. It was very expensive when my brother Kenneth brought it, which was very kind of him. And they've even gotten antique yellowware bowls have gotten very, very expensive. And I could have bought one. They're not like, well, they're not like popular, but they're not rare. Anyway, over the years, the last 2 decades, I've looked and I'm like, oh, I would really like a nice bowl, whatever. I never really, it wasn't that important for me to get a bowl. So over the years, I have actually purchased some really pretty bowls. I love my bowls. Maxwell's upstairs, but he would come down and be like, oh, watch Mom's bowl. This is a Walmart one. I think it's like 20 bucks. But I just really love that. That's a Pioneer woman. Is it Reed Drummond who does the Pioneer line? I have this bowl too. I've had this one for years. It's sort of I think I got that at Home Goods. Yeah, but it's sort of reminiscent. I like old stuff. We live in an old house. Here's another one. Again, hold on. Let me just get this. Again, this is a Pioneer woman. This is nice. They're sweet. I like that look. You know, cutesy country. I like that look. Again, this is from Walmart. These are nice bowls, actually. These are very nice bowls. I love this one. This is a really super one. If you remember, about maybe last year, I had a Pioneer woman bowl because I'd had several of them, and I had made chicken salad in them, and I made a beautiful thing of chicken salad. Maxwell, I had put the bowl in the fridge. Maxwell opened the doors. I must not have put it in as I should have, because the whole bowl, again, my bowl broke. And I'm like, no, what is it with me and bowls? So anyway, on Monday, when we went to this mart that reminded me very, very much, or the fair, very, very much of when I was a young girl going to fairs, there had been on the fairgrounds at Kutztown, near Kutztown University, there are festival fairgrounds. There's about 3 or 4 maybe, I don't know, we saw 2 like antique barns. There's a lot of open air, but there's an antique barns. So we walked in one, and it just reminded me of the mart, Montgomeryville Mart. I got this flashback, and I'm like, oh, I said to Ian, I wonder if I could find a bowl, my yellowware bowl, because they're antiques. A true antique. You can buy reproductions, but a true antique. And I'm like, I wonder. And so he's like, oh, let's look, because he knew how special my bowl was. So Maxwell and I are on the hunt for a yellowware bowl. Little ones, we didn't find any. So we went through that whole barn from beginning to end, all the stalls, beautiful antiques, nothing there. We went to the second one, I think it was building B. I'm on the lookout, and I'm like, you know, never mind. 2 o'clock, we were pretty much done. We were just waiting and sitting, which was nice in the shade. And I had gathered my energy, and I said to Max, oh, let's head down this fairgrounds here. Well, there was another building, I think building C, of antiques and crafts. So we walked in, and the doors, sort of like a barn door, open at one end, and then you could see the other end with about 10 stores in between. So we walked through, nothing. I'm like, oh, well, never mind. We got to go. And the last stall, the last little store on the left, this was, the whole atmosphere just reminded me of the mart, and I was just getting waves of nostalgia. And then I turned to the left, and lo and behold, it's not yellowware, but oh, and it's antique, and it's old, and it's heavy, and it's my bowl, and it was expensive. And I looked, and I'm like, oh, I just got this overwhelming, you know, my brother Kenneth buying me something special, my bowl going with me to all the different countries, the hundreds of meals I made in my bowl for our family. Silly. What a silly story, right? And Maxwell, he was such a sweetheart. He goes, Mom, you must buy your bowl. You must buy the bowl. It's very important. He was dead serious. You have to have your bowl. You found your bowl. It's not a yellowware bowl, but it's oh, I'm gonna be like my mom and drop my bowl. Anyway, that's my story. that's my story. I got my beautiful bowl. It's old. It's an antique. Oh, and it's the size of my Yellowware bowl. Look at this thing. I hand carried this to England and to Canada and back again to America. Isn't that funny? And bless my mom. Oh, the dear thing. She was so tiny. She couldn't lift a pen, let alone a bowl, right? So, but hopefully, my good old bowls, I'm going to be using these for every day. But this bowl, I don't know where I'm going to put it. We need to make a special place for it. Aren't I silly? So anyway, that's my story. I found my bowl. I got out my card. I swiped it. Ian wasn't there, of course, because he was the one who said, he's extremely generous. He said, let's try to find your bowl. And the last store in the last building that we went to that overwhelmingly reminded me of Montgomeryville Mart. Nicer though, because the Mart was sort of a run-down dump sometimes, but it was magical. It was just so wonderful. So that's my story, folks. I got my bowl. I'm so pleased. It was the icing on the cake. So I told the lady the story in a very small way, but she was ever so nice. Lovely, lovely woman. I told her the story of my mom and dropping the bowl, and oh my goodness, we found our bowl. Anyway, she's like, oh, it was meant to be. It was so very nice. So she said, let me buy, like, how do you, I don't know how she transported it. She said, can I find a box for you? And Maxwell's like, no, I'm going to carry this. I'm like, okay. You drop it, you bought it. And he very carefully, the whole way back to the car, right before the bus came, we ran down to the car, and we had some, I had some old pillows in the car, and he wedged it very carefully, and it made it into our 100-plus-year-old home, where it's going to have pride of place. I have no idea where, because I have no room, but I just love my bowl. So anyway, that's my story of my bowl. That's the story of our day. It was just wonderful. That was the story of my mom. I'll put some pictures up at the end of my mom. She was such a lady. She was such a tiny little lady. She really was. To the end of her life, she was just so lovely. Everything was about her was immaculate. Unlike me, I slop around. But my mom was immaculate. And yeah, I miss my dear mom. She was a good Nana Margie. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, folks. I'm going to go up in my sewing room now. I'm going to finish up my embroidered blocks quilt, and then I'm going to be working on my snowflake quilt, and that's to come. I'll be showing you my progress on that. So anyway, thank you for listening to my bowl story. It's come full circle. Kenneth, this one's for you. All right, folks, have a lovely day. Bye.